My name is Colleen, and this is my kitchen. Believe it or not, this was me 4 years ago. I struggled with my weight my entire life. And finally, I came to the realization that diets don't work. By simply eating healthy and moving more, I was able to lose over 100 pounds. I started at a size 26W, and within about a year and a half, I went to a size 12, no W. And best of all, I've now kept the weight off for over 2 years, and counting. So now here I am in my kitchen showing you how you can eat healthy and lose weight just like I have. Because if I can do it, you can too. Hello and welcome back to my kitchen. Tonight I have a fantastic fall-inspired dish for you, and it's really easy. This is going to take you maybe 20 minutes to throw everything together. So it's a perfect weeknight meal, and we're making use of all of the delicious fall vegetables that are in season right now. We're going to be making some roasted fall vegetables over a sage Gorgonzola Polenta, and I'm going to show you how I keep the polenta low fat as well. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, to start with, we want to roast our vegetables. I have the oven preheating to 425, and we're going to mix about 3/4 cup butternut squash that I've chopped, peeled, seeded, chopped up there, with about 3/4 cup of parsnip. And then I have a 1/4 pound of Brussels sprouts that I have quartered here. So cut them in each Brussels sprout into 4 pieces. And then I have half of a red onion. And I just did a really coarse chop on that to leave them in these nice kind of big pieces. Let's go ahead and toss those up. And I'm going to drizzle that with just a tablespoon of olive oil, and I'm only using a tablespoon because I find that a little bit goes a long way in this dish. So let's just drizzle that right over the top like that. And then we're going to take a pinch of coarse sea salt, and then I have a 1/2 teaspoon of ground coriander. I'm going to sprinkle over the top there, and a 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. And you might think it silly to use nutmeg in something like this, but I find it just really enhances the fall flavors in the dish. So once you get those spices on there and the oil on there, go ahead and give that another good toss. Now what I'm going to do is put this in a single layer, and I'm going to roast this for about 15 to 20 minutes until everything is nice and golden brown. I do like to give it a good toss about halfway in between the cooking process to make sure it gets evenly browned up. While the vegetables are cooking, let's get the polenta going, and that's going to start with 1 cup of broth. I'm using a chicken broth. And it's a homemade broth, so it's salt-free, which keeps that sodium content down. Now, if you want to make the recipe vegetarian, just use a vegetable broth for this. And then to that, I'm also going to add 1 cup, so equal parts, of skim milk, a non-fat milk. So the broth is going to help give the polenta some flavor, a little tiny bit of fat, and then the skim milk will give it a little bit of creaminess. Last thing is 2 tablespoons of freshly chopped sage. So I'm going to mix that in, and I'm going to let this come to a gentle boil. As soon as that milk starts boiling, go ahead and slowly whisk in a 1/2 cup of polenta. Now I highly recommend you look for polenta in the bulk bins. It's extremely cheap. Once I get that whisked in, I'm going to reduce the heat to about a medium-low. If it starts bubbling too hard, just lift it off the heat a little bit. And I'm going to let this cook for, roughly 15 minutes, typically no more than 20 minutes. until it's nice and thick. You want it the consistency of a nice thick oatmeal, roughly. Now that our polenta is cooked, let's go ahead and take it off of that burner. And you can see it's nice and thick. We've got the green chunks of sage in there. As a last step, I'm going to add 1 ounce of crumbled Gorgonzola cheese. This is going to add a great earthy, kind of sharp flavor to the dish. Let's give that a stir. And then the last thing to do is to serve this up. Now all that's left to do is to go ahead and dish this up. We're going to start with a little bit of that creamy sage Gorgonzola Polenta. And then on top of that, we're going to be putting these beautiful, absolutely beautiful colors coming through, roasted fall vegetables. It smells so good. It looks so beautiful on the plate. You can absolutely taste the flavors of earthy sage and sharp gorgonzola and just these sweetly tender caramelized fall vegetables. Absolutely delicious. I'm going to go sit down and enjoy my dinner. I hope you'll give this a try. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time in my kitchen.